Hello everybody and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Last video, Midna used her awesome powers of Twilight to get into Hyrule Castle, and here we are in the final dungeon of the game. So we're going to continue on from this point and hopefully scale to the top of the castle. We took the left path last time. This time we're going to take the right path, and the middle path, and any other path that gets in our way. Just like with last time and many other times before, all you gotta do is defeat all the enemies that pop up. So, easy stuff, and they're still very, very easy enemies, so a little more effective if you use a spin attack, but and these birds are just here for like effect. You don't actually have to defeat the birds, it's more the goblins you have to defeat. So after we very, very easily take care of those guys, moving on into this area, where you've got the archers, and then you've got more of these guys. So, more of the same old, same old. I'm going to wait for these guys to charge me, and then I'm just going to kind of stay by the door, because I want to get rid of the archers as soon as I can. Now, you don't really have to. You can kind of just walk around them. But I find if you stay by the door, it's a little harder for them to hit you, and then I can get rid of them when I don't have to worry about them. Nice shot. I got them all on my first try, which is very unlike me. My aim is usually piss poor, so use a finishing blow just for the sake of doing so, because it just looks epic. Why not? Finish off a measly enemy with an awesome attack. There we go. Alright, so now once you defeated all the enemies and you just kind of roam around freely, what you're going to want to do is you want to come to the northwest part of the map, and you want to pick up one of these boars. If you remember, the boar's specialty is going and dashing through any kind of obstacle that's in their way. So what you're going to want to do, hop on the boar and dash about through all of the barriers. And you're going to want to come up to this area here. And you're going to, what's eventually going to happen is you're going to make your way around the outer part. And you'll get to the northwest. So, let's go ahead and dash through some more barriers. What's really cool is you can also hit these towers with the boar and knock the goblins right over, which is so cool. And there we go. That's all we needed to do was come up to this area here on the map, and we have a puzzle to solve. So, take out our Gale Boomerang. Over here you'll see there's a little green Z, and if we lock onto a couple spots on this area, we can get rid of some of the leaves. I think that's enough leaves. Yeah, Midna will pipe up if you've cleared it enough. Aren't you curious what's on the other side of this wall, Link? There might be a way in. You want to check it out? And unfortunately, she doesn't really give you much help. If you look down, you can see that it's in the shape of a Z, and then you have these towers. I think there's 6 of them in total. However, the Gale Boomerang can only target up to 5 targets at once, so your immediate response might be to target them all, because it makes sort of a Z shape, but that's not going to work. So this took me a while to figure out my first time playing, but what you want to do is stand in the middle of the 2 that are like in the middle of all 3 of these, facing where you came in with the boar. So you're going to target the one in the middle near the back, loop around, hit the one on the right, the one on the left, and then the one that is right by the gate we need to get into. So you hit those 4, it creates a Z shape, and you're able to get in to get the chest. That wasn't very well explained, I'm sorry. But anyways, visually you can see it. And in this chest we have got our dungeon map. So that's what I was saying earlier. If you really don't want to lollygag and you just really want to get this place over and done with, you really can skip the right hand side of the courtyard completely, because all it is the dungeon map. There's nothing else in here. There's no rupees, there's no keys, there's not really a whole lot of anything. So completely optional, but I'm not one to get antsy and just want to, complete a dungeon. I want to try and get everything that I possibly can. So, you guys know me by now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the map before continuing on. So, that's all we got in this area. So let's go back, and the only area left for us to go to is north. And this will actually bring us inside of the castle. So let's get out of the freezing rain. And there's music in here, and it's big, empty, and dark. I find this place to be kind of spooky in a way. Mostly just because I feel, like I had mentioned out in the courtyard, it's like in mint condition. It feels like there's people still in here, and it is like perfectly pristine and, perfect, but it's not. And I think that's just kind of makes it spooky for me. And this is also like Ganon's tower kind of music that you see in a lot of other Zelda games. I feel like it's really well done in this game. It's kind of elegant and a little not as loud, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not as menacing and evil. So, anywho, just trying to do some filler commentary while I take care of all these enemies. We're throwing in some lizards, so I guess they're kind of giving us a little bit of variety here. But it's nothing really too spectacular. They're just going to throw a bunch of enemies our way. You can take them out using the spin really, really easily again. Use whatever it is you want to use. A couple waves of these guys. And then eventually they'll stop. I think they're done now. There we go. And then the whole place lights up. I don't know why, but this specific room reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. Don't ask me why. I don't even know why that kind of reference comes into my head in a Zelda game, but it totally does. Alright, so in this room, there are a lot of balconies, not any stairs to climb up or anything like that, but there is a lot of chandeliers, so, What you're going to do is come over to the right-hand side of the room on the staircase, take out the double claw shots, and we're going to use these chandeliers as our stairs to get around this room. Chest materialized up here for defeating all those enemies, and it has the compass in it. So, there we go, dungeon map and compass in the same video, which means we can pretty much continue on. There's actually a lot of treasure in this dungeon, however, most of it is completely unnecessary, and I haven't practiced this area very well, so I'm probably not going to bother trying to get a lot of the chests in here. I'm just going to kind of move forward and do what I feel is necessary. So we're going to go through this door, which is going to bring us to our next room with more enemies and more puzzles. So, hey, it's a Dark Nut! That's really surprising. You wouldn't think this guy would be here, because we've been seeing all these puny enemies, but yeah, Dark Nut. How nice of you to show up, Mr. Dark Nut. I thought he'd be, like, too good. It was kind of like, all the enemies of Hyrule were invited, but, like, the Dark Nut wasn't, because he's just too good or something, I don't know. Kind of a nice surprise, though. For some reason, I can't hit him. But there we go. I'm gonna get out of his way. Ow. Try to get out of his way. That took off a lot of hearts, which is why I really hate getting hit by that, but anyways. Luckily there's not more than one after the Cave of Ordeals where they made us fight a bunch of Dark Nuts. I'm actually really happy to see that there's only one of them. And I get all my hearts back. Even better. How lovely. Alright, so chest up there, we can get to it. So we now have our next puzzle. And there's some lanterns, and there's actually some lantern oil. So we're going to pick up some lantern oil. I do suggest doing it just because it's free. You don't really need your lantern for much else in the game, but, free is good. So if you have your lantern, you'll notice there's one lit torch over on this end, and your instinct is probably going to be to come over here and light the other torches, which is going to go ahead and it is going to raise these other platforms. Now those 4 platforms and 3 torches, and this last one does not really go anywhere. So what you're going to want to do actually is we're actually going to be putting out a flame. If you stand on the very, very edge of this one that has yet to rise, and you go ahead and you aim your Gale Boomerang at that torch that's lit. If I can get to it from here, I might be able to. Let's try there. And you stand on here, it will actually bring you all the way up. So you actually cannot get to this any other way. There's no way that you can jump from those platforms down there up here. So it's kind of interesting because it actually kind of throws you off a little bit. So touche, Zelda, touche. That chest contains a purple rupee, and at this point you have one of 2 choices. You can go to the left or you can go to the right. So I don't really think it matters. They both lead to the same place. They just have a different assortment of puzzles. So let's go to the right. Let's go to the right and see what this place has. Oh, more torches. Lovely. Good thing I filled my lantern up. There's actually no enemies in this room. So there's no enemies to defeat, but the door is still locked. So there's obviously something else we need to do. There's these 4 torches in the middle of the room, and if we light up our lantern, you'll also see that there's a painting right on the wall hanging very suspiciously. If you remember back in the Goron mines, we had those bridges that you had to destroy using your arrow, and once you got rid of the rope, the bridge would fall down and you could hang with your iron boots, and this is kind of the same thing. If we look on the pattern on the wall, it's going to give us the order of how to light the torches. So, start on this end, and make your way around. And for some reason the keys come out, probably just to be annoying and a disturbance and a nuisance. But if you go in that pattern and you end with the torch that is depicted on the wall as the flame, then you will finish the puzzle. So it's pretty easy stuff. The only problem is, you know, getting the picture frame down can be a little difficult. And then we have one more room with a couple of these lizards. Ooh. I don't like these lizards. They have a lot of armor, and I can never seem to hit them. I don't know what it is, but they are extremely irritating. I don't like them one bit. You can see, I don't know, I have a hard time with them. But that's just me. It's really difficult for me to get to the back of them and really do any damage. It seems to just kind of be like a fluke when I can and when I can't. Even doing like the spin attack I've been doing really hasn't been working, because they have armor on the front and the back. So I don't like these guys at all. And I don't really have any sort of good strategy for them. Helm splitters seem to work pretty well, but even like a backslice doesn't work very well either. So, either way, I mean, they're not tough by any means, at least. Just kind of a little bit of farting around to try to hit them. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so now we've got 2 choices. We can go out this way, or we can go out this way. Let's go out this way first. Ooh, and it brings us outside, and now we are back outside the castle, and it looks like we've got a couple of walkways to go through and some more chests to collect. So, we're making our way up the castle, and we're very, very close to actually finishing this dungeon. It's very, very short, so we're going to finish up in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.